Well, a supposedly renowned criminologist supposedly proved that systematic Rahcisms exist.
Are you retarded?
Got fired over the weekend.
What?
You ask yourself why? Well, it turns out he faked the data. You know, like the pandemic and the efficacy of those wonderful vaccines.
He ain't lying.
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this
It's not a rhetorical question. Are you retarded?
is what's next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Monday. Yes, we start a new week. And of course, as I said before, sadly, same old shenanigans. But this one's a little bit different. Systematic Rahcisms. Now, supposedly that is provable. Me, I believe that racism or Rahcisms are by the individual and not by the collective. You don't have companies or groups or, governments writing, let's see here. Of course, we're going to make sure that everybody's paid well. And by the way, how about some systematic Rahcisms? Any objections? No? Okay, we're going to put that in there. No, that's nonsense. That's bullshit. But one supposedly renowned criminologist from Florida supposedly cracked the code and proved it. Wow. He got fired over the weekend. Asking yourself why? Well, it turns out that he faked all the data. Wow. Call me surprised. And here we go. This comes out of the post-millennial. Renowned criminologist professor who proved systematic Rahcism fired for faking data. Studies retracted. Well, kind of hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube, huh? Let's see. The renowned criminologist professor who proved that systematic Rahcisms exist in America's law enforcement. American society has been fired for faking the data. His studies have now been retracted. Eric Stewart, 51, a now former criminology professor at Florida State University, is now out of work due to extreme negligence in his research, according to Google Scholar. Stewart and his work were cited over 8,500 times by other researchers. Now, the W.E.B. Du Bois Fellow at the National Institute of Justice is out of a job on account of extreme negligence and incompetence. Yes, it's sad that we don't apply those same standards to the federal government. Restriction Watch obtained a termination letter from the university, which said it due to Stewart's conduct, decades of research previously thought to be at the forefront of the field of criminology has been shown to contain numerous erroneous and false narratives. Oh, no. It fit the narrative all right. July 13th letter then informed Stewart of his termination. I'm sorry. I said, he got fired over the weekend. My apologies. He got fired all right. Well, it just didn't happen this past weekend. That informed Stewart of his termination. FSU Provost James Clark wrote, the details are problematic data management, false results. The numerous publication retractions have negatively affected the discipline on a national level. Clark noted also that Stewart's actions also impacted the recruitment of students and faculty that are now the university's researchers and concerned that their papers will not be published in major journals, writing in this termination letter. The damage to the standing of the university, in particular, the College of Criminology and Criminal Justice and its faculty, approaches the catastrophic and maybe unalterable. Wow. Clark added, I do not see how you can teach our students to be ethical researchers or how the results of future research projects conducted by you could be deemed as trustworthy, adding that the 6 of the studies had been retracted while the others' work were in doubt. Stewart, who was a vice president and fellow of the American Society of Criminology, which honored him as one of the 4 highly distinguished criminologists in 2017, was fired after nearly 2 decades after his data was found to have false results, which included information that studied that which he had claimed that the history of lynchings made whites perceive blacks as criminals and that their issues were more prevalent among those who are politically conservative. Yes, if you are conservative, that just may make you more of a bigot. Stewart's studies have, in which he claimed that whites wanted longer sentences for Latinos and blacks, had been retracted. Stewart's stated in the work that this effect will be greater among whites, where socioeconomic and disadvantage and political conservatism are greater. Again, yes, conservative, you just might be a bigot. 2018 study showed that, which had been retracted, suggested that because white Americans perceive Latinos and blacks as criminal threats, their perception could lead to state-sponsored social control. Stewart claimed that in 2015 study, which has now been retracted, it's like everything now that we're going through has been retracted, that Americans desire harsher sentences for Latinos because their numbers were increasing and they'd become more successful economically. Really? So you're telling me the 6.5 million illegals that Dementia Joe has allowed to flood into the country, overwhelmingly, they've all been successful. Okay. Stewart concluded that the Latino population growth and perceived Latino criminal and economic threats significantly predict punitive Latino sentiment. Stewart's research also delved into relationship between incarceration and divorce, street violence, the impact of tougher neighborhoods on adolescents, street gardens reduced crime, and how race impacts student discipline in schools. According to New York Post, 6 of Stewart's articles had been published in the top academic journals such as Criminology and Law and Society Review between 2003 and 2019 have now been fully retracted due to flawed data. Well, the article goes on a little bit longer, but you pretty much get the gist. 8,500 times that this guy's studies have been, posted and reposted over again. Because he knew so much, because he was on point, because he cracked the code. Well, guess what? Crack-ass unemployment. That's what you got now. The fact of the matter is that when you are doing studies based off of your ideology, checking off boxes, that's a problem. That makes your priorities skewed. That makes your data faulty. That makes your narratives, well, according to the left, on point. You're number one. Well, he's out of a job now. Now, of course, we all know that he will soon pop up. He'll either pop up on CNN, MSNBC, or he'll be the new president of Black Lives Matter. But this leaves a very, very sour taste in the mouths of those who study criminology, from the highest, from the federal level all the way through to your local sheriff departments, local police departments, shall I say. But when you do anything based off of political narratives, your data is going to be questioned. Your facts, quote unquote, are going to be questioned. Your integrity is going to be questioned. Whether you are from the left or the right, it doesn't matter. It's got to be done in the middle. And I know it's hard to do. It is. It's hard to do. But the fact of the matter is that federal studies, state studies, have shown regarding quote-unquote systematic racisms in our law enforcement. Wow. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. Does not surprise me one bit that the data was faked. Because numerous studies, previous studies have already been done that systematic racisms is not an individual standpoint. Sorry. Racism is a taught issue, sadly. It's not a collective. You just don't write it down. You just can't you just can't dictate the study. You just can't write a thesis on systematic racisms in law enforcement unless you got rock solid evidence. And I mean years of evidence. And supposedly this guy had years of studies. And they're all bullshit. Again, it's all bullshit. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.